Healthy Rebel Radio is sponsored by the Healthy Rebel app. 300 plus secretly healthy, delicious, mouth-watering dessert and treat recipes made with all-natural, whole food ingredients. Now available for download on the App Store and Google Play. Find out more details at healthyrebel.com.
Welcome to Healthy Rebel Radio. I'm your host, Dr. David Deiser. I'm here with my Dami Health Healthy Rebel co-founder, Amy Lane. Good morning.
Good morning.
Just a few quick health and wellness stories to review today. We have to start with my talk tonight.
Yes.
Big talk coming up.
But it'll be too late for these people, so I don't know why we are.
Yeah, we talked about it last week, though.
Right, but these people won't get this until after the talk happens.
For sure, but the talk is in Vancouver anyways. I can give some of the details now if you like.
Sure.
I'm thrilled about it.
I also want to say that you're going to be having some more talks in Vancouver based around medically supervised weight loss and those types of things as well.
Oh, we'll do lots of talks.
Yeah,
we'll do lots of talks.
Probably in the fall.
Most likely.
Anyway, your talk.
This one.
Tonight.
It's going to be great. I'm mainly because I'm obsessed with cold laser.
Yeah, you've seen some great things happen.
I had a woman... I just have so many success stories. It's insane. Like cold laser, if you haven't tried it, if you're dealing with chronic injuries, it's crazy effective. It's so great. And the research is really good too. There's been over 3,000 published studies with regards to the science behind why it works.
Why does cold laser work? What is it doing?
Many different things. Some of the core things it's doing, it's stimulating ATP within the cell. That's the main energetic molecule used in the mitochondria for all cellular function. So it stimulates that by photobiomodulation. So basically the light gets into the cell, it stimulates the energetic process of the cell to make this one molecule, which is used for all the activities of the cell. So if you have chronic injury or chronic issues that they're just not healing, you can speed up the healing process by cellular activation. It's also increasing certain cytokines involved in the inflammatory process. Basically reducing pain and healing inflammation at the same time.
So it's actually stimulating the body to heal itself.
That's the idea.
I have another question. Is it actually cold?
It's not cold. The cold just means you don't feel anything. So there's different types of lasers. Okay. The hot ones cut tissue.
Ew.
The hot lasers destroy things. Oh. The cold lasers, what that means is it just doesn't have any effect on the tissue negatively.
So you don't feel anything?
You don't feel anything, no. Some people can notice a sensation within the body. Those people tend to be extremely in tune with their tissues.
Okay.
And but 90% of the people don't feel anything.
Okay.
Now, the third thing I should mention is that it increases microcirculation. So a lot of chronic injuries because of poor blood flow, lack of circulation in the area, lack of resources for healing. Cold laser has been shown to improve that. So it's excellent for all those things. That being said, what does that mean for the common person? That means that we can heal chronic joint injuries, chronic muscle injuries. We can heal. We can reduce scar tissue in fibrous tissue in the joint. So stiffness. We can heal more superficial things. It's used frequently in poor wound healing. That's where you see the quickest benefit because it's in the epidermis. It's in superficial tissues. Poor wound healing, cold laser is excellent. You should see the results. In scars, what we normally see is a reduction in size and appearance, size and coloration, which is excellent.
Like how long would that take?
So that it totally depends on the scar, but for some people it can take 6 treatments. Some people it can take 10 treatments.
And how long are each treatment?
15 minutes. Yeah, it's very quick.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's very quick. But you have to put a certain amount of joules, certain number of energy into the tissue, depending on what you're dealing with. So there's different therapies or different protocols for each specific thing. In scar tissue, you use a certain wavelength. This is the other thing that you need to know about cold laser. There's different wavelengths that represent the different depth of penetration penetration of the laser. So at my practice, we have multiple lasers that are using. So we have one for each different depth of tissue.
Wow.
I love it. I love it. The treatment's usually, I mean, the first one's 30 minutes, and then the follow-up treatments are usually 15. But it's an excellent therapy if you're dealing with scar tissue, tendinitis, even acute injuries. I mean, I talk a lot about chronic injuries because that's mostly what I see. I see a lot of Achilles tendinitis. I see a lot of people with plantar fasciitis. I see a lot of people with rotator cuff injuries that they've had for 20 years. I see a lot of that type of thing. Neck pain, back pain. Now I'm seeing a lot of tissue infection. So bacterial infection of the tissues. We treat those with cold laser. But it can be used in acute injuries. It can be used with delayed onset muscle soreness. It can be used in tennis elbow, carpal tunnel syndrome. I mean, anything that just all of a sudden has flared up for you, it can be used. It's so cool. I love it. But the talk is also going to include some supplementation, nutrition information as well. I'm going to try and include as many things as I can. If you're dealing with inflammation with regards to just chronic pain, joint stiffness, that type of thing, the first recommendation, well, I make 2 nutrition recommendations usually. We could figure out if there's a potential food source for the inflammation. If you haven't had any injuries. Okay, maybe there's some digestive issues, whether it's absorption or inflammation caused by foods. We can figure that out. But also the nightshades. And people with arthritis.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've heard this before.
I mean, I've heard it. I guess I just haven't really witnessed it myself.
No, you need to work with a lot of chronic injury to see benefit from it. Some people know, okay, when I eat tomatoes, I feel awful. Not sure why. So then when that comes up, okay, we say, okay, avoid potatoes, eggplant, bell peppers as well. Just take a break from them. I know.
I love those
Amy's
foods.
giving the face of, those are my veggies.
I love those veggies.
That's my game.
I do.
So nutritionally, we have those 2. I mean, obviously, increasing nutrient-dense foods. I mean, we're so passionate about that, but they're so helpful for inflammation, and then correcting digestion. So it's a holistic approach to pain and inflammation. And then supplementation-wise, we have different sets of supplements used for different things. When it's inflammation, we're talking curcumin and fish oil. When it's pain, we're talking boswellia, devil's claw, Jamaican dogwood, serapeptidase. We're talking a lot of different herbs and nutrient.
The point is you need to have a consultation so that you can get everything and treat the whole situation at once, really.
Definitely. And especially because this is such a broad category of what can cold laser be good for. It can be good for so many things. So when we're talking about tissue healing, there's a different protocol. Vitamin C, zinc, and probiotics. When there's inflammation, it's a different protocol. So there's a lot to know. And you're right, it's helpful to consult with someone who actually knows what they're doing.
Well, the other thing is, too, and what I've learned, is that not all supplements are equal. Not all things we think are proper supplementations are. So it's just better to, go and get the proper education and get on the right path. Because otherwise you're just wasting time and money.
Yeah. Really.
Because a lot of the times we think we're avoiding... I can just figure this out by Googling and just go to the store and get the stuff, and I don't have to talk to anyone, and I don't have to spend the money. But in reality, you end up spending more money and wasting time.
Oh my gosh, the number of people who come to see me, and it's absolutely, nothing against them.
Oh my gosh, we're all guilty of it. If I could go back and, get the money back on supplements and just diet junk that I've spent over the years.
Yeah.
I wish I could. I would have so much money.
Oh, totally.
And I thought that I was just doing it myself because I'm smart and can just Google and it's all there. And
well, the example I want to share is and I've done this too. The number of people who have come to see me who have inflammation who take 1,000 milligrams of fish oil a day and have taken it for years and haven't seen any benefit. Well, there's no research for anything under 3,000.
Right.
So it's it happens all
the
the time.
Not all brands are equal.
Not all brands are equal at all. It's the same thing with curcumin. The dose normally is 1,500 milligrams, which some people would even say is a low dose.
Oh my gosh, we're seeing it I'm seeing it so prominently now. The lights have come on about probiotics. People are like, oh, my Activia yogurt, I've been eating it every day for the last 5 years, isn't what I think it's doing. No, it's not.
No. No. Even the children's probiotic that we use now that has excellent research for reducing the amount of days missed because of colds and flus, 12 billion.
Right.
12 billion, broad spectrum, 6 strains.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the yogurts are 1 million and 1 strain.
But it sounds so good on the commercial.
And it's delicioso.
And there's dancing.
There's always dancing.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I'm excited for the talk, but there's lots to go over. Hopefully we can do something for the online crowd as well at some point with regards to this topic. But there's so many great topics, we have to pick and choose.
Sure.
There's some great stories in the news this morning that we have to talk about. I've got 2 specifically.
Okay.
One is published in The Lancet, basically the top medical journal. This is the neurology version of The Lancet, and it has to do with Down syndrome.
What?
Now, Down syndrome, very difficult condition, obviously for everyone involved, and 0 treatment options, like very few treatment options to make it easier, to improve outcomes. They just did a big trial with high dose EGCG green tea, and they saw significant cognitive improvement compared with placebo. So
with like children or adults taking it that have Down syndrome?
That's right.
Wow.
Were you asking me either or?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
That being said, and I just want to say, I follow a community here in Vancouver that have a lot of high functioning children with Down syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that.
Definitely.
And,
we get outside a lot.
And, a lot, they claim, that they were made to be very afraid. I mean, obviously it's difficult. It's not an easy thing, and no one wants to see a child suffer. And everybody wants optimal health and, all that stuff for everybody. But basically what they were saying is that, there are things that can be done. It's just not popular knowledge and talked about.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's not accessible for everybody. But these groups have formed here in Vancouver that are supporting each other and spreading awareness and knowledge, and they have very high functioning, happy, healthy children.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
This one study is about this low caffeine, high EGCG percentage. So EGCG is the extract of green tea that's studied most for immune modulation in cancer, a few other different things.
Mm-hmm.
They did this large trial, and scores of short-term memory, ability to adapt to change, communication skills, all improved. Followed them for 12 weeks. And the results lasted for 6 months.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's really excellent. I love it. I mean, it'll obviously be packaged into a medication and given that way, but it's on the shelf right now in this exact form. We use one in our clinic that's virtually 0 caffeine with extremely high levels of EGCG we use in cancer therapies. So very, very cool.
Wow.
Love to see that. And the second one is a small trial that was published recently about Mediterranean diet and breast cancer prevention after therapy from a previous incident. So basically what we have now in breast cancer, conventional breast cancer therapy is the results for 5-year survival are excellent, right? But then we see at this 5 to 10 year mark, the second wave of tumors.
Yeah.
And it's scary, and people are scared. People are freaked out. How can I prevent this next round? What can I do?
Yeah.
Well, we've got some small studies coming out. This is of the Mediterranean diet. And I'll be honest, big disclaimer here, and this is the main criticism of the study. They're only at the 3-year mark with the study. And I'm talking 5 to 10 years, most important.
Right.
But 300 people, and they have a very strict diet to follow. But it's not a hard one to follow. It's open. It just has categories.
Right.
Mediterranean style diet. 200 people are in the Mediterranean diet category. 100 are in the sham diet category. Or eat whatever you want, basically. Eat the way you were eating. At the 3-year mark so far, the 200 people who are eating the Mediterranean diet, 0 of them have had a recurrence, which is great. In the category of people who are eating the exact way they were before they had their first tumor, of the 100, 11 of them had a recurrence. Which is high, right? Like, that's serious. So there's huge criticisms. We're not there yet. The study's not controlled in a way that might be more tight, better or something. However, that's a big difference. 0 of 200 versus 11 of 109 is that's the real stat. But the 5-year mark, we'll see what the real difference is. There's huge benefits for the Mediterranean diet. I mean, it's.
I mean, there's so many different advantages.
It's an incredible way to eat. But hopefully
we're not talking about the diet as in the diet book that came out a few years ago for weight loss. We're talking about the collective sum of what the Mediterranean diet means.
Exactly. We're talking about... Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
we're talking about...
The Mediterranean diet came out with protein bars and all
Really?
Oh, yeah. It was a big thing for... They all do it.
Yeah.
It's all... Whatever. We're talking about the actual Mediterranean, what those... like food categories, food combinations, and what those foods
we're talking about not being scared of good fats, eating tons and tons of vegetables.
Tons of vegetables.
Very small amounts, but still there, of lean meat. Debatable, but in the Mediterranean diet, it's very seldom, and it's like fish and a few other things, but it's super lean and very seldom. And then they drink wine.
Oh, that sounds great.
They drink this diet that the study is using right now is 1 glass a day, but my gosh, they eat a lot of veggies, and they eat. I don't know. I love the diet. I like eating that way. The type of food is suitable to me. It's nuts and seeds. It's
naturally in the summer you kind of go that way.
Yeah, it's much easier. I mean, here in the winter it's difficult to eat anything except roasted root veggies, warming. Yeah. Anyways, I thought it's a cool study. We'll follow up with it in a couple of years and see how it's going. Because we need to find more ways to prevent recurrence.
Yes, we do.
I have a lot of opinions on this topic that I share with all my patients, but that's another day.
That's a whole day.
That's Healthy Rebel Radio for today. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great day.
See you.
Healthy Rebel Radio is presented by the online health and wellness center, DamiHealth.com. Since 2009, Amy Lane has successfully coached thousands of women through her signature program, the Bikini Body Program. Join today to work exclusively with Amy to unveil your greatest yet to be from the inside out. Go to DamiHealth.com for more information.
Thank you for listening to Healthy Rebel Radio. Please connect with us on our community pages on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, all at the handle @DamiHealth. For weekly recipes, articles, and all our episodes straight to your inbox, join our newsletter at DamiHealth.com. You can find all the links discussed in today's episode in the show notes. Thank you for joining us, and see you tomorrow.